Hello, welcome to Curriculum Development. I'm here to give you a broad overview of what we do as a department, give you a tour of the drive, give you a few informations about our communication and weekly meetings, some of the stuff you probably have questions about. And hopefully that will give you an overview of the department and a good introduction before getting to know your project manager individually and having a better sense of your personal role within the department. But let me just say to begin with, I'm so glad you're here. It's an incredibly important department for resilience specifically because what we really give to people is curriculum. So you are the people that are writing, editing, creating the curriculum we give out directly to students. So it's really an incredible job. I hope you feel excited to get to work on some educational materials hands-on. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me, your Director of Curriculum Development or your project manager. So let me get started. First, I'm going to share my screen and show you a few different materials. So give me a second. Okay, so the first thing is, what is the curriculum? It's probably a good question. So we call our curriculum Selena. It encompasses 5 core modules, which include self-awareness, self-management. You'll see them on this website, but those are kind of our broad buckets that all of these 50 core topics fit into. So let me just scroll through this so you can get a better sense. We have things in self-awareness, self-management, relationship management, social awareness, and decision-making. So they're really 50 overall themes that we're trying to teach to kids. You can see here, there are a lot of different delivery mechanisms for those themes. So generally, and I'll show you in the flowchart, what you're doing fits into one of these delivery mechanisms. So the content writers write lesson plans, they write scripts for the videos and audio exercises, they write the one-to-ones, we have people working on VR, we have people editing the video lessons, all of that. You'll see that in a second. But really the core that we're trying to do is create all of these materials for all of these 50 topics so that everybody can be served with the same themes. Here you can see we're really trying to educate, train, and then test kids as well. And let me just give you a super broad overview again. So there are 4 grade levels. There's primary, which is K through 2. There's intermediate, which is 3rd through 5th grade. There's middle school, which is 6th through 8th grade, and then there's high school, which is 9th through 12th grade. So again, we're covering every single grade, K through 12, with these 4 different levels. Within that, within our 50 topics, there are 5 different types of content that we're really working to make. So that's PDF lesson plans, PowerPoints, videos, and there are a couple different types of videos, audio exercises, and one-to-ones. 5 different types of content. Every one of those pieces of content we are making for every single one of the grade levels for every single one of the topics. So it's over 1,000 pieces of content. It's really incredible. And that's what makes Selena so unique, is just the breadth and robustness of the curriculum. Let me give you a quick look at the flowchart. So it's a little complicated. You can find it in the drive by just searching for the curriculum development flowchart. But as you can see, this is what the writers do in yellow, the content writers. Then it gets edited. So we have a team for editors, graphic design, translation. The PowerPoints are just done by the content writers. Then they also write the video script, which then gets made into either a cartoon video, a selfie video, or a live action video, depending on your team. We have a separate team for editing those videos. And then we also have a group of high schoolers that take a look at them and make sure they're age appropriate. For the audio exercises, we have a team dedicated to recording the audio exercises. So those are voice actors. And then we have another team dedicated to editing the audio exercises so they can be finished, put in the portal. Then finally, for our one-to-ones, this is kind of the final step for these, but you can see that we have a bunch of other things that we're working on, which includes workbooks, Selena Comics, professional development curriculum, and I'll get more into those in a second. As you can see, it's a really big department with a lot of different positions. I'm going to mention early on that there is mobility between teams if you're finding that your skills are not a good match for what you've been brought in to do. And there are a ton of options. So let me give you a quick look at the drive. It is pretty expansive. I've gotten some feedback that it can be a little labyrinthian, so I understand that. If you need help finding anything in particular, you can always feel free to reach out to your project manager and they'll send you links to everything. Let me just give you a quick look. So we do have our training section. For books, these are if you're specifically working on the workbooks or the comics, this is kind of going to be your hub. We have a bunch of focused curricula that's actually social emotional learning meant to engage with specific populations. So if you're a project manager for the professional development curriculum, neurodiversity, the juvenile justice curriculum, refugee curriculum, public health curriculum, that's where you'll kind of really do most of your work. But the vast majority of people will spend their time in this massive folder. So this is the core of Selena. You might be working primarily on writing lesson plans, PowerPoints, and scripts, in which case you'll really be focused here. Those are the content writers. If you're spending your time recording audio exercises and editing, you'll be in this one. You can kind of see it's pretty intuitive, although again, there's a lot of nesting within folders. So apologies. And again, feel free to reach out. So this is kind of the introduction to the drive. You'll have more specific ones for your team, but this is really what I wanted to show you. So let me share my screen really quickly and show you the Discord. For Discord, so there's the Resilience Discord, which is its own server. You can see that here. It'll let me click on it. So this is what every single person in the company is invited to. We also have a specific server for curriculum development. So as soon as you join, you can always reach out, I'll send you a link to the Discord. Your project managers have links to the Discord. And then you can see that there are specific servers for each of the teams. For content writers and project managers, those are locked, so I'll have to upgrade your role if either one of those are your titles, and they'll be invited to the chat. And that's sometimes where we send out weekly meeting links, that sort of thing. All right. Now, for the rest of this, it's really just me kind of giving you some general tips and advice. I'm going to refer to my list here so I don't forget anything. The biggest one is that communication is absolutely crucial to your time here. If you are left without an assignment for over a day, even, reach out to your project manager. There are a lot of people. You can see in the staff directory, at times our organization has had over 400 people, and it's really easy to get lost in the fold. So if you find that you don't know what to do, just reach out and ask. We really run on clarifying questions, and I promise that your work will get easier, even if it feels super overwhelming and like you're learning a bunch of new skills at once. It will get easier, but there's always a learning curve. And so if you have questions, you just have to ask. You can always reach out to your project manager or me, the director. Look through the staff directory if you need to find your team members, or if you need to find the name of your project manager. We're always onboarding people. Sometimes there are mistakes. I've had people from different departments directed to me. Really just look through the staff directory, and that will be an incredible resource for you. In terms of weekly meetings, it might say in your action plan that you have a one-on-one weekly meeting with either me or your project manager. Everybody's different. I am not only the director of the department, but I also directly supervise the content writers team. And for them, we have a weekly group meeting. So I don't do individual meetings. It really depends. So you're going to have to reach out to your project manager. They will be facilitating your weekly check-in. In terms of, action plans, these are also crucial. I know it's really long, and sometimes it's easy to get lost, or it's easy to forget details. The most important thing is that you're just doing a weekly update at the end. You can see that time chart, but you have to fill that out, or else we have no accountability in the organization because we're not seeing each other in person every day. So it's really helpful. I also find that for me, for tracking what I've done that week, it's just a valuable resource. So I always make sure that you're doing your action plan. It's not just administrative, it's really for you. Let's see. I mentioned earlier, there is mobility between roles. So again, if you're finding that a role is not well suited to you, take a look at the flowchart, see what about this role didn't work, what could work better for me, and then reach out to your project manager and say that there's something that feels like a better fit, and you can CC me, the director, on the email, and that'll work for you, and we can transition you between roles. When it is time for you to be offboarded, so I know that this is an introduction video, but when it's time for you to be offboarded, you have to let people know. Please let your project manager know. Please CC me or HR, someone, so that we have a good sense that you're leaving, as opposed to just sending emails into the void. I know a lot of this is pretty easy administrative stuff, but when you're starting a new position, it can get super overwhelming and really easy to forget stuff. So thank you for listening. Those are my biggest notes. And really, I'm just so excited to have you on board.